Yeah, let us check the volume once again. I hope everyone can hear my volume now. So in our previous classes, we have discussed about the objects, different kind of objects like arrays and date object, and regarding the functions are also like objects. So functions are the objects in the JavaScript. Okay. So functions may therefore be assigned to variables and to the object properties. So as seen in the yesterday's example, if a function is returning a value, okay, that may be anything, it can be fetched into a variable where some x is equal to function definition. The function definition will be like function with the function name and the braces, okay. Within the braces, you can write whatever the document you want to print on the HTML statement. So here you can see the example like function, refer function. So this is like it refers to the function, okay. Function with braces is like we are calling that particular function. If there is another function with the braces, we are also calling the function. Now coming to the local variables. So in JavaScript, we have a concept of local and global variables. So let us now go through the local variables. The scope of a variable is the range of the statements. I'm just zooming it so that you can have a better view. The scope of the variable is the range of the statements over which it is visible. Okay, so wherever the variables are visible, so that we call it as scope. So if it is inside a function, then the scope of the variable, the lifetime of the variable, or it is exist in that particular function. Okay, a variable not declared using the var has a global scope. So if you have written a function, within it you have declared a variable x using the var function, okay, then it will be local to that particular function. So if you haven't declared it like var, okay, variable not declared using the var has the global scope. So global scope means within the entire application that variable exists, okay, not within for a particular function, visible throughout the page even if it is used inside a function definition. So variable declared with var outside a function definition has a global scope. So outside the function, if you have declared with a var, okay, then it will be applicable to the entire application. So if you have written the function within a variable within the function, then it will be local to that function. Outside it will be like global. So a variable declared with var inside a function definition has a local scope visible only inside the function definition. So if a global variable has the same name, it is hidden inside the function definition. So these are the explanation about the local variables. So clearly remember like whatever the variables you are writing outside the function, okay, we have declaration like var and which is outside the function, it will be global. If it is within the function, then it will become a local, okay. And also variable not declared using the var has the global scope visible throughout the page. So whatever the HTML page you have given, right, it will be visible throughout the page even if used inside the function definition. This is another point, okay. We have 3 points here. First one is you have a variable with var declaration and it is declared outside the function, so it will be applicable for the entire page. Another thing is like you have a definition and it is inside the function, so it will be local to the function. That is second point. Third point is like a variable which is declared, which is not declared with var and it is inside a function. Even though it is inside a function, you haven't specified any declaration like any declaration like var, it will be like applicable to the entire page, throughout the page. Now coming to the parameters. So parameters named in a function header are called formal parameters. So you have seen in yesterday's example like we have passed some variables to the function, into the function, so which we call them as the parameters. parameters used in a function call are called actual parameters. So if you specify the parameters in a function header, like some xyz, a function of xyz, we call it as formal parameters, and we are not using the parameters for our inside the function, then it will be like formal parameters. If we are using the parameters, for example, for of a comma b, okay, inside the function you did some a plus b, so you are using the particular variable parameters, so it will become like actual parameters. So parameters are passed by value, so you can pass the value to the parameters. For an object parameter, the reference is passed, so the function body can actually change the object. However, an assignment to the formal parameter will not change the actual parameter. For example, you passed it as you called a function called function of a comma b. Okay, while actual dealing with the function, you called a function of 5 comma 6. So a comma b is nothing but referencing to, a is referencing to 5 and b is referencing to 6. Okay, so for an object parameter, the reference is passed. Reference is a comma b are references. For that you passed 5 comma 6. So the function body can actually change the object. So the variables will be changed to the values and particular operation can be performed. So however, an assignment to the formal parameters will not change the actual parameter. So whether you give a comma b, x comma y, anything, but whatever the values you pass now, it will not affect the formal parameter as well as actual parameter. So whatever variables you pass, like for a comma b you pass like 5 comma 6, then it will take relatively. Here you can see the example, parameters passing example. So here you have a function name is function1 of mylist. You have passed a parameter like mylist. So here you have a declaration called var list2 with an array object. Array object has 1, 3 and 5. So mylist of 3 is equal to 14. So what is your mylist? Mylist is the parameter which you passed here. Okay, you have assigned the mylist of 3 as 14. Okay, and then mylist is equal to list2. So this array is assigned to particular list. Again, you have a var list is equal to new array object. We have two array objects here. One is inside the function list2 and another is outside the function. And you are passing function one of list. So 2 comma 6 comma 6 comma 8, you are passing these things into a function 1. So again your mylist will go here and respectively the task will be done. So the first assignment changes the list the caller. Okay, what are the function you are passing, right? Whatever the variable you are passing here, the first assignment changes the list in the caller. Caller is nothing but calling function. The second assignment has no effect on the list of objects in the caller, and pass by reference can be simulated by passing an array containing the value. So I think this I will explain you with an example, so you can better understand like how the passing of the parameters is done in a functions. Now coming to the parameter checking. So JavaScript checks neither the type nor the number of parameters in a function call. Formal parameters have no type specified. Extra actual parameters are ignored. Extra actual parameters means, for example, you have x, y, z and you have passed only two parameters a, some 5, 6. So again the actual parameter it can be ignored. So if there are fewer actual parameters than the formal parameters, the extra formal parameters remain undefined. Okay, this is another case. So this is typical of the scripting languages, and a property array named arguments holds all of the actual parameters whether or not there are more than there are formal parameters. So I'm just opening one example. I can explain you. I'm sharing my screen. So here you can see the JavaScript example here, params.js. So what it actually does is like function params, like a variable number of parameters, returns nothing and displays its parameter. You have passed some variables called a comma b. Okay, the function parameters was passed. So arguments dot length of parameters, yes. So how many arguments you have passed? Okay, and parameter values. And now you have got some iteration method, like you have some arguments dot length, how many arguments you have passed. Till that number of arguments you will get the value here. So this is the params. You passed at Mozart. Here you have a comma b, but you have passed only Mozart. So then what is the output? So function parameters was passed is like one parameter, and parameter is Mozart. Okay. Okay, here you can see like for params we have passed the three different types of there are like three different types of callings here. First you have passed, though you have two parameters, formal parameters, the actual parameter you have passed is only one parameter. Second time you have passed two. So what happens? The argument length will become like 2 and you have like how many parameters? You have total of 2. You can see the output here. The passed parameters are two parameters. So for this, the parameter values are, you have iterated this. Okay. For this iteration, arguments of arg means you have iterated through number of parameters here. Okay. And now you got the parameters. This is the three parameters are passed for this particular function calling. Okay, this is an example for the parameters. So now coming to the sort method. So a parameter can be passed to the sort method to specify how to sort the elements in an array. So in an array, we need to check like how we are going to sort the elements. So the parameter is a function that takes two parameters. The function returns a negative value to indicate the first parameter should come before the second parameter, and the function returns a positive value to indicate the first parameter should come after the second. So like a parameter can be passed to sort method. For this we have some certain things like function returns 0 to indicate the first parameter and second parameter are equivalent as far as the ordering is concerned. So this also I will show you an example using this median.js file. Okay. So I think all of you are familiar with the medians concept. Consider a function, this is like medians.js, where we are going to explain about the array of parameters. Like function median has array of parameters. The result shall be like median of array to find out the median of the array and the return value. So for this particular median, okay, you can see here you have passed the formal parameter as list, and for that list you are trying to sort. Okay, this sort method is up the particular list, and that list can be an array. Okay, for the sort method you have passed a function with two formal parameters a comma b. What shall this function return? This function will return a minus b. For example, you passed 6 comma 5. Okay, then it will return plus 1. Okay, the reverse minus 1. Okay, same 6 and 6, it will return 0. That is what actually we are trying to talk here. Okay, negative value, positive value, and 0 value. Okay, so let us see the screen again. Okay, use the modulus operator to determine whether the array length is even or odd, and using math.floor. We have gone through this math method. Okay, do you remember this math.floor to truncate the numbers, and math.round mean it will round the numbers. For example, some 5.56, it will round to 5.6, not exactly like 5.6, 5.12, or like around 5, or based on the highest number. See here, I'll show you like how it math.floor here. List length moduli 2. So here, what is the length of the length.list means whatever the array you are passing, that will be taken into this variable length list, and you have done some moduli function here, and if that equals 1, then return this particular statement. Otherwise, perform this operation. Okay. I think I will share you this thing. You can go step by step. Okay, I will give you an overview. So my list 1, you are passing an array like this array 1 2 3 0 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, from 0 to 5, total 6 elements you are passing. And next list you are passing like 10 minus 2. For this you are trying to find the medians for the two arrays. So now you have passed mylist1 to the median. What is this median? This is a function. For this function, this is list, right? For this list, mylist send. Okay. So it is not mandatory this mylist1 variable name and this list should be same. It can be different names, but the way of calling here, you are calling this particular function, right? This entire array will go to the particular list and this particular operation will be performed. And whatever the function result is there, here you have passed it till this, the return statement will be saved in the var med. Okay, so now using this operation you have got the median of the mylist1 and the median of the, you have for the second list also you have the median. So this is the logic which we get for a median. So all of you know like how do you calculate median for a like odd numbers and even numbers. Okay, similar logic is applied here. and this will be your output. So this is your median calculation and this is your median. Okay. Now coming to the constructors topic. Constructors are the functions that create and initialize properties of the new objects. So same as your Java constructors, okay? Constructors are the functions that create and initialize property for the new objects. So in constructors, what happens is like it automatically instantiates itself, okay? As you learn in your Java, okay? There is no confusion, similar way of constructor. So constructor uses the keyword this in the body of the reference, body to the reference, the object being initialized. Okay, so constructor it uses the keyword this. So this refers to the that particular function. So object methods are the properties that refer to the functions. So object methods we have seen like car, which has some properties like color, some number, okay? That refers to this property refers to a particular function. A function to be used as a method may use the keyword this to refer to the object for which it is acting. So this keyword we already discussed before, like for example, you have written a function. Within the function you have used like this dot color, property of a car, okay? This dot, for example, color is a property. Then you use this dot something plus this dot something will return. This is nothing but that particular respective function, okay? This also I will show you the example. Okay, I hope I have saved in some other file. So tomorrow I shall get it because it will take time. So let us go through the another topic. So constructor is very much similar to the Java. Okay, Java constructor. Yeah, fine. So regular expressions are used to specify the patterns in the strings. So regular expression we have seen like getting 3 digits in yesterday's example, like getting 3 digits and separated by hyphen and then getting the 4 digits. I hope everyone can see my video and as well as everyone can hear me. Is that fine? Okay, fine, yeah. So regular expressions are used to specify the patterns in the strings. So these regular expressions, we can make it as a shorthand operator. Like we can in the previous example, like in yesterday's example, we have seen like there is a digit, there is a validation for the some four numbers or anything like 3 digit followed by a hyphen and then followed by 4 digit. We have written something d of 3, okay, and then d of 4. In between we have a hyphen. So these are the kind of examples for the regular expressions. You can refer online for this regular expression because very huge topic. Okay, for basic learning, for basic understanding, I have specified that example. Okay. So JavaScript provides two methods to use the regular expression in pattern matching. So string methods and regular expression objects. So a literal regular expression pattern is indicated by enclosing the pattern in slashes. So this literal regular expression, we have seen it right yesterday using the flower braces and d of 3 kind of things. And the search method returns the position of the match if found or -1 if no match was found. So this also I'll get some examples to explain you, okay, for the second thing. So first thing we have seen, right? So this is an example for second thing, search. You have a string called rabbits are fury. Okay, what you did, you have searched like slash bits. Okay, where position. So you have taken a whatever the search output is there now, from whenever you search, you have to search it using the search method. You have to enclose the text within the uh, like slashes. Okay, you have took the position as in a variable called position. If of position greater than 0. Okay, greater than 0 means R will have a position as index 0. Okay, 0 1 2 3 like this. So document.write of bits appear in the position. This is a text, this is a string. Okay, that's what is there in a quotation. So if the position is greater than 0, means if it is there in this position, R position, it is not greater than 0. Okay, then it will fail. So here obviously it is greater than 0 only. Okay, then in that case we can get the position. Okay, else like we display the message like bits does not appear in the string. Okay, this uses a pattern that matches the string bits. The output of this code is as follows: bits appear in the position 3. Okay, so count it. This bits is appearing in a position 3 because R is 1, A is R is 0, A is 1, okay, B is 2, and next B is 3. So from third position, 3 is greater than 0, right? So it is satisfied. So bits appears in third position will be the output. So this is using search. Now coming to the character and character classes. Meta characters have special meaning in regular expressions. So meta characters have like these are the examples of meta characters which we often use in a regular expression. So this thing we have seen yesterday. This thing like in angular braces, like in the square braces, you find the digits. Okay, within the total flat braces, you have seen the code, right? So these are the characters. A period matches any single character, means dot it matches any single character. And the character classes matches one of a specified set of character. So from 0 to from capital A. I have got some question like, is exception handling present in Java? Yes, it is present. We can have the try catch exceptions in the JavaScript. Okay, that will be coming through in the next sessions. Okay, we have so many concepts discussed in the JavaScript, like debugging concepts, so not only the pattern matching but also the exceptional handling. Whenever you you just try and catch, things can be implemented in the JavaScript. Okay, and the type of exception also you can handle it. So the split method splits the object string using the pattern to specify the split points. So you have a method called a split method in JavaScript, which helps us to like find the particular substring or from that particular position. Okay. So JavaScript errors are detected by the browser. So in the yesterday we have seen, like in console we have seen some errors where got some unexpected token errors, unexpected syntax. Okay, so Firefox uses a special console. So console I have shown you, right? Even Firefox has the console, as well as this Mozilla. Not only this, Chrome will also have a console. So support for debugging is provided. In IE7, the debugger is a part of browser. For Firefox 2, plugins are available. Okay, we have in Firefox, we have a browser, we have a what we call as an add-on in Firefox. Like the add-on is the Firebug. Okay, using the Firebug, you can have the console. Similar way for Chrome, I'm showing you, right? I'll show it again. Right click, click on inspect. This is what the console, where you have all the set of errors displayed. You can have your JavaScript code written here also. for instant output or something. For instance, for checking of a JavaScript and all, you can have the instant things done here. Okay, see the output you can see here now. The output you can see here, like I have did something. The JavaScript output I can see here. In Elements, I have all the HTML head tags. Similarly for Firefox also, just try to install the Firebug add-on, okay, in your Firefox browsers, okay. So IE also you can debug from the browser. Same F12 is same in all the browsers. So this is about the JavaScript concepts. We have few more JavaScript concepts like exception handling, all the things are there, and Ajax calls, etc. Okay, like how do you manipulate the DOM objects is also there in our next PPTs. Okay, let us go through all the concepts. So today I'm just finishing off this session. Today I will be sharing the code with Chakravarti sir. Okay, please go through all the examples of HTML, XHTML, CSS, and JavaScript till now. Okay. So any doubts you can just mention in the questions tab. I will get to you tomorrow.